We officially live, y'all. So we gonna finish going over the rest of Esther. Most High willing for the Feast of Purim coming up. When is it again, Levi?
Uh, I believe the 22nd or the 23rd coming up.
Okay, 22nd or the 23rd. So all praises be to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Uh, we're gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of this book of Esther. Um, and then just preparing ourselves for the Feast of Purim, understanding what it is that we celebrating, why we celebrating, what led up to us celebrating this. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna finish getting with all I getting get with all I get understanding. So with that being said, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to go and look find the YouTube page real fast so I could just in case anybody comment or anything. So all right, so we gonna y'all know how we roll. We're gonna open this up, breaking off the rules. Um y'all know how we get down, you know what I'm saying? Coming up under the order of Melchizedek. The law applies to everybody, both male, female, free bond, Jew, Gentile, rich, poor. You know, you know, the order of Melchizedek, Christ is our high priest. You know, he sit at the right hand of the Father as we speak. We believe that that we must keep these rules of the Bible in order to get with all our getting to get understanding. So, without further ado, we're gonna open it up with Isaiah the 28th chapter, and these are rules apply to everybody. Nobody is above the rules of the Bible.
And
Uh,
real quick, let us
yeah,
all go on mute so we can be heard.
yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Let's all go on mute so we can be heard. And we're gonna go and go ahead and throw down in the word of the Most High. So again, we're gonna start this off in Isaiah the
Isaiah
28th
2 and 8.
chapter, verses 9 and 10, establishing the rule. Establishing the rules, and what establishing the rules do is it open the door for reproof and correction. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody goes off, no matter who it might be, you know what I'm saying, whether it might be somebody that's more prominent or somebody that's least prominent, everybody can get reproofed and corrected. You know, it's no big I's and little U's. We all stand shoulder to shoulder in this thing, in this race for salvation. You know what I'm saying? So as long as we stick to the rules and we hold everybody else to the rules, we all have a fair chance at salvation, you know. So make sure that we not only hold ourselves to the rules, but we hold other people to the rules as well under the order of Melchizedek. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start this off. Isaiah the 28th chapter, verse 9.
Okay, Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9.
And it's gonna be something that we doing from here on now. Every Bible class that we start, we always gonna run the rules first, and we always gonna establish priesthood to any newcomers that might be listening. We always gonna make sure we lay down the rules first. So if it happened to be that any questions or anything might come out, we can all make sure we playing by the same rules. So again, y'all mute y'all mics so we everybody can be heard. Shalom, brother Dewan. How you doing? So again, mute y'all mics and we finna go ahead and start this off in Isaiah the 28th chapter, verse 9. Who phone is that?
That sounds like somebody on the highway, don't it?
Boy, it sound like some planes taking off or something.
Just take it off or something.
Right.
Right. Some sound like something taking off. But all right, again, y'all mute y'all phones so everybody can be heard. So don't no background sound come out into the Bible study. So with that being said, come on, Levi, you ready?
All right, Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Uh-huh.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
So that's a question. To whom shall the Most High teach knowledge? And to whom shall he make to understand doctrine? And understand when he's saying doctrine, look, he tell you to beware of the leaven or the doctrine of the Pharisees. So it's very important that we put ourselves in a position to where we can understand what the Bible calls sound doctrine, because that's what the scriptures is here for. It's here to make sure that with all our getting we can get an understanding. You know what I'm saying? It's here for sound doctrine. Yo, you can't have doctrine where you got on what we call hospital gown doctrine, meaning you all front and no back. See, and when you apply these rules, it'll keep you from having a hospital gown doctrine where you have holes and you have, yeah, you just got holes, and now you showing your rear end because you ain't covered all four corners. So again, to whom shall he teach knowledge, and to whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Come on.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
So this is a process in which a baby goes through. When a baby is weaned from the milk, meaning it has become to the point, or it has matured to the point to where he or she is able to handle strong meat. It's called the weaning process. It's called you no longer on milk. Your body, has developed to the point to where it can handle strong meat. And that's what the Most High saying. He's saying that he's not dealing with individuals that are still on the breast, still sucking milk, because when you get into the Hebrews, the 5th chapter, it tells you that milk are for babies, for those who are unskilled in the word of righteousness. You won't have your senses exercised to discern between good and evil. You still got some growing and some maturing to do. The Most High is not dealing with what we call novice. He's dealing with those that are of full age, who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern between good and evil. So again, to whom shall he teach knowledge, and to whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Those that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Come on.
For precept must be upon precept.
So understand that he's saying that precept must be upon precept, and understand a precept is a rule of law or a commandment, or it's a rule that's intended to regulate thought or behavior, which is the commandments, because that's what the commandments do. The commandments, it governs your thought process and it governs your behavior. And he's saying it must be, meaning it's something that cannot be overlooked. So you can't overlook the precept must be upon precept, because if you overlook it, you are overlooking, or you will be skipping a very pivotal point in being able to understand, to be taught knowledge and to be able to understand the doctrine of the Most High. This the only way for you to understand it, and to understand it in its full totality, is to make sure that you don't overlook precept being upon precept. And again, a precept is a rule of law or a commandment that governs the thought and the behavior. And you have to make sure your precepts match under the same priesthood. Because if you don't, then you will be precepting in two different priesthoods. So you have to understand priesthood as well. So, we all know that we come up under what's called the order of Melchizedek. You can't pull a precept from Aaron and then a precept from Melchizedek, because it's not gonna work for you. So again, precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept. Come on.
Line upon line,
Uh-huh.
line upon line.
Uh-huh.
Here a little and there a little.
That's right. Come on.
All right, so you
Oh,
want me
that's
to
it.
go
That's
to
it for that. So you see that
Deuteronomy?
this is the beginning process of understanding the doctrine of the Most High. It's the first precept upon precept, and then That's the building blocks, and then you branch out to line up on line, and then you start going here a little and there a little. And that's how you start getting a solid understanding, what the Bible calls a sound doctrine. You'll be able to differentiate between sound doctrine, and the doctrine or the leaven of the Pharisees. Because everybody must play by these rules, precept upon precept, no matter who you are or what title you hold. When you enter into the Bible, these are the rules that individuals must be held by. So, all right, with that being said, let's go to Deuteronomy the 19th chapter, verse 16, 15.
Yeah, it's verse 15.
All right, go on here.
Deuteronomy chapter 19 and verse 15 says, "One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity or for any sin, in any
Uh-huh.
sin that he sinned. At the mouth of two witnesses or at
Uh-huh.
the mouth of three witnesses shall the matter be established."
So you see that the matter must be established on two or three witnesses. You can't come anywhere and establish a matter on one witness. It's just not going to work. It has to be at least two to establish anything. Understand?
Yeah.
So let's keep it rolling.
All right. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And it reads on this wise. It says, "At the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death."
So you see that? So you can't even put an individual to death on the testimony of one witness. It has to be established on two. And look, it's the same thing with the court system. Even in the court system, two witnesses has to be available. And under Melchizedek, you can be a witness against yourself. Your own consciousness can be a witness against you. Understand? Oh, come
And
on.
it won't be a false witness against you neither.
Absolutely. Not at all.
Verse 6 continuing, "But at the mouth of one witness he shall not be put to death."
Absolutely. You will not be put to death with one witness. So all right, come on, let's keep going.
All right, so let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. And it reads on this wise, "This is the third time I am coming to you."
How many times did he come to him?
This is the third time.
Mm-hmm.
"In the mouth of two or three witnesses shall every word be
So
established."
you see that again. Every word shall be established at the mouth of two or three witnesses. You gotta have two or three witnesses to establish anything, and everything must be founded upon the criteria of precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's how we get our understanding in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, now let's continue and let's with the book of Esther. So what did we leave off? In the book of Esther, I believe it was chapter 8.
9. We was at 9, right?
I think we was in chapter 8. Yeah, we had left off in chapter. We
Oh, we
read
still in
all
chapter
of
8.
7, and we left off in chapter. We finna start chapter 8.
Okay.
So right, we had just read about Haman actually falling into the pit that he had dug, meaning he was trying to get our uh our forefather Mordecai hanged on the gallows, but it ended up working out to where he actually ended up getting hanged on the same gallows that he was preparing to hang Mordecai on. And also too, uh he had set out a decree by the blessing of King Ahasuerus to eliminate all the Jews, both man, woman, and child. And some things had ended up working out with the favor of the Most High, that he ended up taking down Haman, who was one of our ancient enemies. we went back and we read First Samuel the 15th chapter, and we seen that Haman was a descendant of our ancient enemies, the Amalekites or Amalek, who laid wait for us in the wilderness coming up out of Egypt. So the Most High put the hit out on all of them and told King Saul to go and to exterminate, eliminate everybody from the Amalekites, both man, woman, child, suckling, and beast. But Saul being disobedient, he left alive the king who was Agag, who Haman descend from, and also he left alive all the cattle and thought he was gonna sacrifice it to the Most High, and it was penalties that was brought down on him for that. So just to catch us up and to see where we at. So now we finna start it off in chapter 8.
All right, family, we're in the book of Esther, chapter 8. We're going to start at verse 1. And to give your brother again, I'm not the best at reading names, so I'm going to do my best. I just want to put that out there. All right, family. With the permission of the Most High, in the name of His only begotten beloved Son, who lives forever.
Endeavor.
Long live the King.
Long live the king.
Esther chapter 8 and verse 1. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman the Jews' enemy unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther, real quick, is there an echo on me?
Yeah, it is kind of a little echo on you, bro.
Hold on 1 second. We all muted.
I believe so.
Everybody look like they muted.
Okay. Well, I guess that's just what's going on. Verse 2 again. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews. Then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, If it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes.
You still sound
Let
like
it,
you got an echo with you, bro.
yeah.
Try hanging up and coming back in real fast. Hey, brother brother Dewan, you would take over for him while he go out and do that? Oh, that still
Yeah, I'll
sound
take
like
over. I'll take
okay,
over.
me.
Yeah,
Am I
I
echoing
can,
also?
but
Hold
yeah,
on. Hold on. Let me see. Am I echoing?
somebody's echoing.
Yeah, that sound like it's me. Hold on, I'm gonna come out and come back in, y'all.
No, not
Yes,
really. It was
Alright, how that sound? Alright, that sound cool. All praises. Okay. Let's get it, bro.
All right, so verse 4. Then the king held out the golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, If it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seemed right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of the Hammedatha the Agagite. He wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come upon unto my people?
Right?
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
Right. So now she pleading before the king because she want the king to reverse the decree. Man, that echo is still there.
I don't care. Just
Let me
keep
see.
going.
All right, come on. All right, come on. I think I found out what it was.
Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, Behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews as it likened you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name and sealed with the king's ring may no man reverse. Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies and rulers of the provinces, which are from India unto Ethiopia, 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and unto every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their language, and according to their language. Verse 10. And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed it with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries.
Dromedaries, which are camels. So now he's sending out the message. You know what I'm saying? He's finna send a message to all the Jews, or a counter message to what Haman has sent out. Boy, that sound horrible. But come on.
Wherein the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together, and to stand for their life, to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the power of the people and province that would assault them, both little ones and women, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. Upon one day in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that the Jews should be ready against that day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
Hold it right there. Like, hey, everybody that ain't speaking, make sure y'all hit that button and mute y'all phone.
Hey, I was gonna tell you, do you still have the YouTube up?
No, I ain't even got it up right now.
So there's no playback of the live being nowhere?
You ain't got no feedback. You ain't got nothing else on that your volume's up on?